Book 7 Judges chapter 16. Samson went to Gaza and saw there a prostitute, and he went in to her. The Gazites were told, "Samson has come here." So they surrounded the place and lay in wait for him all night at the gate of the city. They kept quiet all night, saying, "At daybreak we will kill him." But Samson lay until midnight, and at midnight he rose up and took hold of the doors of the gate of the city and the two posts, and pulled them up, bar and all, and put them on his shoulders and carried them to the top of the hill that is in front of Hebron. After this he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. The lords of the Philistines came up to her and said to her, "Entice him and see where his great strength lies, and by what means we may overpower him, that we may bind him and subdue him. Each one of us will give you 1,100 pieces of silver." So Delilah said to Samson, "Please tell me where your great strength lies and how you might be bound that one could subdue you." Samson said to her, "If they bind me with 7 fresh bowstrings that have not been dried, then I shall become weak and be like any other man." Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 fresh bowstrings that had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now men were lying in wait for him in an inner room. She said to him, "The Philistines are upon you, Samson." But he snapped the bowstrings as a strand of yarn snaps when it touches the fire. So the secret of his strength was not known. Then Delilah said to Samson, "Look, you have mocked me and told me lies. Please tell me how you might be bound." He said to her, "If they bind me tightly with new ropes that have never been used, then I shall become weak and be like any other man." So Delilah took new ropes and bound him with them and said to him, "The Philistines are upon you, Samson." The men were lying in wait for him in an inner room. But he snapped the ropes from his arms like threads. Then Delilah said to Samson, "Until now you have mocked me and told me lies. Tell me how you might be bound." He said to her, "If you weave the 7 locks of my head into the web of the loom." So she fastened it with the pin and said to him, "The Philistines are upon you, Samson." But he woke from his sleep and pulled away the pin of the loom and the web. Then she said to him, "How can you say, 'I love you,' when your heart is not with me? You have mocked me these 3 times, and you have not told me where your great strength lies." She pressed him daily with her words and urged him, so that his soul was weary to the point of death. He told her all that was in his heart and said to her, "A razor has never come upon my head, for I have been a Nazirite to God from my mother's womb. If I am shaved, then my strength will leave me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man." When Delilah saw that he had told her all that was in his heart, she sent and called the lords of the Philistines, saying, "Come up this once, for he has told me all that is in his heart." Then the lords of the Philistines came up to her and brought the money in their hands. She made him sleep on her knees and called for a man and had him shave off the 7 locks of his head. Then she began to subdue him, and his strength left him. She said, "The Philistines are upon you, Samson." And he woke from his sleep and said, "I will go out as at other times and shake myself free." But he did not know that the Lord had left him. The Philistines seized him and gouged out his eyes, and brought him down to Gaza and bound him with bronze shackles. And he ground grain in the prison. But the hair of his head began to grow again after it had been shaved. Now the lords of the Philistines gathered to offer a great sacrifice to Dagon their god and to celebrate. They said, "Our God has given Samson our enemy into our hands." When the people saw him, they praised their God, saying, "Our God has given into our hands our enemy, the one who laid waste our land and killed many of us." They made him stand for entertainment, and they summoned him to amuse them. They put him between the pillars. Samson said to the servant who held his hand, "Let me feel the pillars on which the house rests, that I may lean against them." Now the house was full of men and women. All the lords of the Philistines were there, and on the roof were about 3,000 men and women, who were watching Samson's entertainment. Samson called out to the Lord and said, "O Lord God, remember me, I pray you, and strengthen me, I pray you, only this once, O God, that I may be avenged on the Philistines for one of my 2 eyes." Then Samson grasped the 2 middle pillars on which the house rested and leaned against them, one on his right and the other on his left. Samson said, "Let me die with the Philistines." He pushed with all his might, and the house fell on the lords and all the people who were in it. So the dead whom he killed at his death were more than those whom he had killed during his life. Then his brothers and all the house of his father came down and took him and brought him up and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol in the tomb of Manoah his father. He had judged Israel 20 years.